All right, my people, welcome. Good to see you all. Drifter, long time. How you doing? GTA 6, love hype. Welcome. Sammy, how you doing, my man? Good to see you. My camera was definitely okay, like 10 minutes ago, and it now no longer is. Is that too pale? Do I look pale? It's either pale or red, and I just gotta choose like which one I basically prefer. But anyway, I hope my sub and follower counter is out of the way. I can't be bothered to keep going back and forth between my my two PCs. Right, so as the title suggests, we are on Peninsula Corridor today as I continue my my journey mode playthrough. I haven't prior to last week, I hadn't touched Peninsula Corridor in a very long time, and basically it was in the queue, I guess. I need to open my window. Hold on. It was in the queue of like the back routes that I was playing, basically from okay, this isn't what I was meant to do. Playing the routes from like earliest to newest, basically. And so I had gotten through obviously East Coast Way, Great Western Express, Tees Valley Line, Northern Trans Pennines, I think was up there as well. I don't remember them off by heart, because well, there's a lot going on there, and I had stopped like doing things this way for like quite a long while. But I was like, you know what? The new routes are nice, but I feel like there's just so much going on with like the new. Let me just revisit the olds, you know, to a time that's passed, and remind ourselves of I was gonna say what TSW once was, but I mean it hasn't really changed realistically. What did I do wrong? Hold on. I actually don't know how to recover from a PCS open. I had this issue before. Okay. All I had to do was basically change the cutoff valve from in, back out to out, and then back to in again. Nice. Gauge lights and step lights on. Put this to forward. Bright cruising lights are on. I believe that's the correct headlight configuration. I'm not actually 100% sure. I'm just assuming so. Cruising light kind of makes sense for, you know, cruising, I guess. We'll get number lights on. I feel like those should always be on. Oh, that's a throwback. That like information little window. I haven't seen that in a while. Cool. Pretty lengthy run. It's a pretty long route, to be fair. You do get up to speed. There are like sections where you're constantly stopping every mile or two, and then there are other sections where you're just going for a good like 15 miles non-stop. That's good to hear, Sammy. I'm doing well myself, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm glad you're happy to see it, GTA 6. I honestly thought to myself, I don't know. I'm happy playing it, but I just thought that it may have been, you know, to the majority of people that usually show up. I figured it may be a little bit boring. I don't know, because, you know, it's not new, and I don't know. I feel like Peninsula Corridor, like, I feel like the timetable is pretty decent. You've got 3 different trains, you know, that operate on the main timetable. Then you've got all the freight stuff that you see around, endless wagons. Like there's actually, yes, there actually is a decent bit going on. But I don't know. I just feel like more people are attracted to the new, and whether that's the new routes, whether that's new features. I'm actually surprised no one's really made like an announcement, like more passenger announcement mods. There is currently a project basically tackling that as we speak. But I would imagine, well, I wouldn't imagine. It seems like development's moving a little bit slow at the moment with that. It's a fun route to drive. I mean, to be honest, GTA 6, it is a, yeah, I like it. It's varied. It's varied. I think the scenery's pretty good. I feel like the scenery's pretty good. Like I said, I like seeing all the different types of trains. Although I'll be honest, so I do have the Baby Bullet DLC. I haven't seen it in a while. I haven't seen it in a while. If I remember, after this run, we've got quite a while to go, considering we're just getting started with this one. But if I remember, when I finish this run, I'll check the timetable and see if it's there to drive. It was there in the journey mode. Like, it's got its chapter in the journey mode. So one way or another, the game's reading it. But in the previous run that I did off stream, I didn't see it. On this run, I haven't seen it over on this end of the line. Whereas before, I would. So I don't know. I've seen the switcher, so I know the switcher is definitely in the game. There's no issues with that. But with what's currently happening with the SD40-2 from Sandpatch grades, it does seem like locos can just up and vanish. One of the better US routes. Really, Sammy? Interesting. Of course I have. Of course I've seen the mess that Motorfest is. Me and the Bill have been trying to just do like grand races, but we just keep getting. It's not just a matter of like the ranking system not working or it's not like progressing. It keeps docking us down because. So after every single race, now whether this affects everyone or not, I don't know, but it definitely affected Nabil and I and hundreds of others at the very least. After every single grand race, the server crashes. And it kicks us back out to the splash screen, like the first like menu where you have to press continue. And so what I think is happening is as the game sort of bugs out and kicks us out, it thinks that we're quitting. This is just my like sort of piecing it together. I think it thinks that we're quitting, and in those ranked races, if you quit, you get your points docked. So even though it doesn't really make sense because the race is over, so it doesn't make sense to dock us down. But that's the only sort of like logical way I can try and make sense of it. So at the moment, it's just a mess. I'm not too fussed about ranking. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm just happy to just do grand races like I always have been. But with it crashing every single time after every race, it's just not worth it, man. It's a hell of a mess. It's a hell of a mess. The entire update, man. And I don't know what the other updates have been like for season 6, 5, 4, 3. Because I took a bit of a hiatus after I think either season 1 or season 2, if I even made it that far, and came back in season 6. So I saw the switch from 6 to 7, and that was smooth, super smooth. So to see this, man, and for me, Ubisofts have been quick to say, yeah, we know what's going on, we're on it, which is good. But they haven't been quick to solve the issues, which is the more important thing. So, yeah, it's just a little bit of a mess at the moment. I would love for a Tokyo monorail or Kyushinkansen route if the Avidity SW7. Well, we're starting to venture into that side of the world now with the Tardame line. Although we've been waiting for that for coming up to 2 years now, a year and a half, 2 years, somewhere along those lines. So, you know, I guess we'll just keep on waiting until it comes. But at least, I guess the venture to so that part of the world has begun. I just get disconnected at another grand race. Not much complete one yet. Wait, you haven't even like finished the a race yet, Sammy? I do like the stance update. Yeah. It's very much given like Need for Speed, but I have no complaints. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's car culture and not Need for Speed culture. But yeah, it's it definitely gives off that sort of like Need for Speed inspired update. Using the lack of grand races to catch up on challenges and custom modes. You know what? I've contemplated that. I was actually extremely close to streaming the Crew 2 actually. But I've been contemplating doing that on Motorfest. And I don't know, man, I'm just put off by the idea of how much of a grind that is. And usually I'm not opposed to a grind too tough, but man, yeah, like, oh man, like, the thing is, I like that though, right? Like, I feel like sometimes when you're aiming to a certain level in a game, it warrants a grind, right? Like, cool, let the main stuff be, you know, relatively, not easy, but, let it just be like normal, I guess. But if we're actually trying to get like trophies, you know, especially like the platinums on PlayStation, for example, and 100% completion and stuff like that, I think like the game should make you grind a little bit. It should make you work for it, because then it gives you a sense of completion as well and satisfaction when you do get there. I reckon we'll get it fixed Wednesday when they update for the summit. Oh, interesting. I don't know how those updates are usually done, whether they're like proper updates or whether they're just more it's something like it's already in the game and they just change things on the back end. But I guess that would be an opportunity nonetheless. That would be an opportunity. Although I think it's been too long now, man. For something as important as a grand race and ranked as well. I mean, Ubisoft needs to be working around the clock, in my opinion. Japan is a beautiful place to visit. I would like to go there one day. I think I can say yes. I don't really do the whole bucket list thing, but if I did, I think Japan would definitely be on there. I've got a few people that I know who have gone there. I've never heard a bad experience. Get to the end of a grand race, go to get my rewards and get kicks back. Okay, so yeah, same then. Yeah. So your rank is probably, I think mine's sitting at bronze 3. I don't know if it's still going down or not. I haven't really given it a chance. But yeah, that's pretty much the issue that many people are having. Platinum's pretty easy. What do you need to do for platinum then? Is it just the main story? And what? Is there like just one platinum trophy per game? Usually. It's a back-end server of the game usually goes offline. Okay. So it is something where that we sort of directly get impacted by. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm gonna buy myself some XRP. I'm suffering from a little bit of FOMO, admittedly. However, it is a no-brainer. And I get paid on Wednesday anyway, so I mean, I'm only doing it 2 days before I would have done it otherwise. I'll buy 20 quid of it. 20 quid of XRP. Hank, Mr. Toes, how are you doing? How are you doing? The brakes on this loco have definitely taken some getting used to, I'm not going to lie. They definitely could be worse, and I'm glad they're not, but they also definitely could be better. Doing well, I'm glad to hear, my man. I'm doing well myself, thank you. Very, very blessed by the grace of God. Newt Newt. Talking of Newt Newt. So I know the whistle posts on US routes. It's the X on it's a black X on a whiteboard. And I know that obviously should be sounding the horn. I'll be honest, and I apologize because it's immersion breaking and it's a little bit hypocritical coming from somebody who's always talking about immersion and realism. However, so I've got to get the music going on for you guys. However, for me personally, it's just a lot of work on American routes. It's like it's constant. It's like every crossing you got to do it, and there's a lot of crossings, and it's not just like a whistle post in the UK where you do your low, high, low, whatever, and you keep on going. There's a whole song and dance. It's a rhythm. It's a pattern. All the way until you get past the crossing. I actually don't know when it's meant to stop. No. Why? No. That's so frustrating. Why? You know what the most annoying thing is? I've done about 3 or 4 routes in the last couple of weeks and I've had no issue. No issue. Why? Why is it on a stream? And it's not like I've got OBS open or anything. According to my PC, this is just another day. Why would he do that? And it's so and the Unreal Engine thing is so stupid. Like, it won't tell you, oh, here's the issue. Oh, there's the issue. No, it will just shut off on you. That's so annoying. There's no autosave, so gotta restart. Nice background. I mean, there's not really much going on. It's just the default. Yeah, it's crashed your desktop, Sammy, which is very confusing. I did install a mod, to be fair, before starting the stream. However, it's the mod for the waves on the Riviera line, so that when you're driving past, if it's windy, then you can see like the waves splash up. What has that got to do with Peninsula Corridor? What's that got to do with Peninsula Corridor? So I don't quite know. Yeah, that's annoying, man. Okay. I don't even know where it happened as well for me to like, if I get close to there, I can like save my game, for example. I need to try and like watch. I'm gonna try and watch my stream back a little bit. See how far away. I know we were on our way to, was it Millbrae? I don't exactly know how it's pronounced. Okay, I gotta do this on YouTube. Oh no, there it is. I knew there was a way to like rewatch the current like when a stream is live, you can rewatch it if you just go to the channel and then videos. Yeah, look, see the switch is there, the bullet's there. Yeah, and all its services. If I go timetable mode, Yeah, Baby Bullet has its own timetable, which I didn't even know. Why has it got its own timetable? So does it not appear in the standard timetable then? It does. So what's the point in giving it its own? But anyway, it appears there on the standard timetable, so it should, I don't know. Maybe it's just chance. It's just that the substitution hasn't been very favorable to us. All right, let me try to figure out how many miles we were, how many miles away we were. Actually, not super far, you know. Not super far. We were definitely closing in. If I can just... Right, roughly 4.1 miles away. So I'll save my game when we get to like when we're 4.5 miles away. That's annoying. What? The electrified the electric trains GTA 6? I don't think so, because the whole route would have to be redone basically. There's no like overhead wiring on here at all. Els, how you doing, my boy? Good to see you. Welcome. Okay. I mean, I'm pressing left on the D-pad, and the doors are not closing. What's going on there then? But everything else is working. Oh no, it's not. Is my game okay? I could just play with keyboard and mouse. I'd rather not though. Right, so why are some things working and some things not? Okay. TSW is doing the TSW thing. Just remove the roads and put a 20-lane highway there. This isn't oh god, what game is it again? Is it Transport Fever? It's not Transport Fever, Hank. Have you ever heard of the ring roads they wanted to put around London, like the 4 motorways? No, I don't think I have. I don't think I have. Isn't the M25 enough by itself? It was a documentary about that. Please do enlighten me. It's absolutely appalling that they wanted to tear down so many homes for a series of connections on the motorway. When was this? Like, what year was this planned? Well, Henk, has that sorted the problem? Oh, back in the 60s. Oh my god. So did it not come to fruition then just because of the like public's anger, I guess, towards it? Oh, you made it worse. Now I've got huge rings of traffic jam around my seat. So where is this all coming from though, Henk? Like, is there like a motorway in, but then there's no way out for people to go? Well, surely what comes in must go out, isn't it? The public outcry was seen as justified reason for not building the project. 60s were a different time, eh? Because honestly, I don't see that happening today. Today I feel like whatever, you know, a big developer wants to do, they will do, regardless of how you feel about it. There's no public transport connection, it all goes by car. Yes, but I don't get how they commit, how is there so much traffic? Why is there so much traffic? Is it that there's like a one-way highway that goes into the city, and then everyone's just trapped? Made a bit of a meal of this with the brakes. Got into panic mode a little bit. That's annoying. I actually had done this stop so well in the previous run. '60s were a beautiful time for us in the States. Road trip, beautiful signage, tons of roadside attractions. Not to mention the cars as well. Cars that almost seemed both more purposeful and meaningful. And more tasteful as well. Definitely more tasteful. Hello, Mark. Good to see you. How you doing? Cars I'd saw on character. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that was just a standard as well. You know how like today, there are cars with that, with those qualities. But you have to pay like big money for them, right? Usually they're exotic cars, usually they're expensive cars. Whereas back then, that was just the norm. You're tired. It's 2:30 p.m. on a Monday. What are you tired of, Mark? What have you been up to over the weekend? Spent 3 hours on a train. Could have got some shut eye. Could have got some shut eye on the train. I think I'm over it now, but there was a period of time of like of many years, many years, where if I'm on a train, well, to be honest, it was like any transport, a bus, a train. Within 5 minutes, I've long nodded off. I just couldn't, like, I don't know whether I was, I don't know, iron deficient or whatever it would have been. I just couldn't help it. I didn't want to. I didn't want to sleep. I wanted to just be awake, like everyone else. But my body just wouldn't let me. Back then, the car was part of the family to go. Yeah. And it was definitely like a bonding opportunity as well for parents and their kids when it came to, like, you know, doing the mechanic, playing the mechanic role. Really, Sammy? Why are you tired? Why is everyone tired today? I'm actually pretty alright. I mean, I was tired earlier, but then I also only had 4 hours sleep, so I think that made sense. Oh, TFL faults. What, on the underground, Mark? Honestly, whenever I hear of like issues on the underground that happen during the week, it makes me very grateful that I don't work there on the weekdays. The last time, funnily enough, that I did do an overtime shift during the week, there were actually like severe delays on my line. And oh my god, the amount of work you have to do to get people to understand, just to inform people. Forget customers getting upset or frustrated and then having to deal with that. The amount of work it takes just to inform was just ridiculous. Fortunately, I had a colleague who had a pretty loud voice, so she was taking care of most of it. But whether it's just hard of understanding, whether it's a language barrier, whether someone's got their headphones in, whether someone they can't read, it was just insane. Oh, the Elizabeth line. Oh, faults on the Elizabeth line can be rough. Turn on my cab light. Why, Drifter? Why would I do that? I've started Monjaro, so I'm not eating. I can't have any drinks. What's Monjaro? I've never heard of that. I was up late enjoying the city. Did you hear plane crash? Yes, Drifter, I have. Hard to avoid it, really, on social media. Especially when it had just happened. Felt bad for the guy on the Disneyland on Wednesday when it was shot. Loads of people. Really, and that's the thing as well, you know. I'm fortunate I didn't deal with that personally, but there is also that to contend with. Customers being mad at you as if you've caused the delays. Went all the way to Liverpool Street and got lost. Okay, how do you get lost in London? It's like it's very easy, but it's also very hard as well. Hello ASR, how you doing? Good to see you. The craziest footage of that plane crash was the one from it was like a truck's dash cam, one of the UPS trucks that was in the parking lot. Weight loss jab. Ah, okay. Okay. Well, good luck with it. I hope it does what it's intended to do. I hope it achieves its purpose. Stratford Station was evacuated due to a fire. That's a headache. Was it a fire warning or was it an actual fire? I thought it was an actual fire, right? It was a multi-platform hub. It is, but I feel like everything's very well... if you just look at the signage is always quite clear, like 99% of the time. There are definitely occasions where it's not. But I feel like for the vast majority on like TFO network, things are very clearly signed. If that makes sense. And I mean, Liverpool Street in its own is very confusing because you've got two stations in one. You've got Moorgate and Liverpool Street in one, you know, in one station basically, similar to like the Bank Monument situation. Bunch of long walks trying to get to your platform or to your line. So it definitely can be a trek within the station. But I feel like as long as you keep your eyes peeled, it should be fairly easy to navigate. I think it's more complicated above ground. I've been above ground there like once. And I could tell that, okay, this is it's all pretty complex. Almost flew back on the same aircraft. Is that aircraft known to have issues? Or is that just a one-off? I know like is it the DC-10? That's like notorious for failures and crashes and incidents. I did ASR. I'm not gonna lie, I think those would be better posted in the forums if you want to make more of a splash of them. Oh, there was a fire near the line. Great Anglia platform. Oh yeah, you do have... Wait, in Liverpool Street? Okay, yeah, you do. You do. Yeah, I've gotten the train from there. Yeah, it is a hell of a station. It is a hell of a station. And it's the fact that it is what it is. Like you can't... There's no tearing it down and starting afresh. You just got to work with what's there. Been watching a YouTuber called Captain Steve who's doing some great informative videos about the crash. So what happened? Like I actually don't... I still don't know what actually happened to that plane that caused it to crash. I believe the engine was like left on the runway, right? So how was the engine sort of detached itself from from the plane? Shredded down floors of the DC-10. Okay, maybe I was a bit too optimistic on the brakes. The left engine caught fire and fell off upon takeoff. So is it a matter of like poor maintenance? Did it get like an engine replacement and the services wasn't completed properly? TC 10296, Train Sim World 6. And then engine 2 also failed. What? Were they connected in any way? Like the two failures? Engine 2 didn't fail. Hello, Dan. How you doing? Investigation is still underway. Boy thinks the pylon failed, engine fell off, and the blade hit the other engines and has one engine back. Jesus Christ. What a mess, man. The footage was absolutely insane. I can't imagine witnessing something like that, like right in front of me. I've seen some crazy stuff. I don't know how. I don't know. Like, yeah, I just couldn't imagine it. Couldn't imagine it. Oh my god, my headlights! I've got to turn them on. Lots of work. Nothing new to you, Dan. Nothing you can't handle, my man. Because of that, I've had so much plane crashing content on my Instagram. Like a ridiculous amount. I don't think anything like that will put me off flying. But it's crazy to see like what could happen. Just a tin can flying through the air at 400 miles per hour. All of the other aircraft of the same type are grounded until further notice and mandatory inspection. It would be interesting to see the result of that. I don't know if they'll reveal it publicly, but let's say they find like a general flaw in all of them. That would be a bit frightening. Depending on the severity of the compressor stall, it might shut down the engine, but it still works just like it turns off. Dutch route is the best. I definitely don't think so, Hank. I definitely don't think so, my man. Dutch route the best in the game. I mean, I know you have to like, you know, stand up for, you know, and represent the nation. But let's call a spade, bro. That route is trash. In terms of like entertainment value. Okay, maybe not trash because I guess the cop loper is kind of cool, but it's very boring. Very, very boring. I wouldn't fly in the States at the minute anyway. Air traffic control is running on fumes right now. Yeah, I've heard something about that. What exactly is going on there? With air traffic control right now in the US. Oh, it's been a very rough year. Hasn't it been over a year now? Of like accidents occurring on almost somewhat of a regular basis. Oh yeah, do you still play MSFS, Hank? You're always getting lost. What about his management, ASR? Like, how did his management trickle down to the planes themselves? USA government shutdown. Really? So yeah, so obviously, you know, being involved in trading. I'm very aware of the US government shutdown. But aside from its impact on the markets, I don't actually know. Number one, I don't know what its purpose is. And number two, I don't know the entire picture of what's affected by it and how. So when you say nobody's getting paid, like what are we talking exactly? Who are we talking? Cutting corners, ignoring engineers, shareholders, top one priority. Right. Sounds familiar. I'm very good at getting lost at MSFS. Oh, Hank, you've told us about a lot, mate. You've told us about a lot. Thank you, McGamon, for liking the live. Appreciate you. I don't think you've ever told us, Hank, that you landed at the right airport. I don't know if you ever did that. And was anything ever like was there ever any consequence to the shady stuff, ASR, or was it all brushed under the carpet of corruption? You sometimes get where you need to be. You know what? I guess that's better than never. They made the MD-11 and the company was almost bankrupt, so they merged with Boeing. I think. I mean, from where I'm sitting, I think it's a no-brainer. You don't really cut corners with something like planes. Radium Gaming, nice one. I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy for you. That's it. For me, that's what it comes down to. You spend money on something, and you know, in this case, quite a bit of money. As long as you enjoy it, you know, you're making use of it on a regular basis. To me, you know, you've gotten your money's worth. You've absolutely gotten your money's worth. I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. I was contemplating jumping on some Euro truck today. It would have been just to make like a video content on 1.57, but that's a week old now, if not more. So I thought there's not really much point. Maybe when like it comes out of beta, but there's definitely not much point doing it now. Maybe I just wait for the Nordic Horizons DLC to release. And you play ETS, no car games. Yeah, there you go then. Even better. I mean, and you play ETS, but if you really wanted to, you could play ATS as well as the bus, OMSI. I wouldn't recommend the bus, but Fern Bus, Busbound. Like, there's actually a decent number of games focusing on either trucks or buses. Government employees not being paid, but Trump forced through emergency pays for ICE. It shouldn't be funny, but it kind of is. They're paid by the government, but it's illegal for them to not show up. So is that not just a loophole then? For the government just to not pay them, hire them, and then just decide to not pay them. And so once the government shutdown ends, which should be this week actually, hopefully today or tomorrow or the day after, are they gonna get their like back pay? Finding the right airport doesn't mean safety. I'm not sure that on water. I forgot the brakes and just flew off into the sea. Right, forgetting the brakes while coming in hot for a landing, Hank, doesn't seem like a great idea, lad. Busman looking good. I don't know, man. It is. But I saw like a recent gameplay footage, and I don't remember what exactly it was about it, but something about it put me off, man. I think just the whole like you having to create your own routes. I don't know if there's a way to play with the game giving you routes, but if I'm gonna have to go create my own routes, then I'm not really a bus driver, am I? I'm more like, I don't know, a route manager or however you want to call it. See how random that crash was. Now we're fine. Macmillan, hello. Well, how's it going? What engine are you operating? What engine am I operating? I am operating the... Good question. What is this? I mean, it's your generic US loco. That's going to anger some people. The F40PH-2C. There you go. Boeing really fell off, so the situation they're in. Is there like a realistic way out for them? Or does it look like they're just going to keep getting worse and worse? What do you mean you don't understand it, McGaming? What do you not understand about OMSI? Unsure if they get back pay. Probably not with it being America. If they don't, that's insane. Like, that's actually insane if they don't. 50k for a stub toe, I know, right? Hello, Mr. Forklifts, man. How you doing? They can recover, but really hard and long process. I mean, yeah, naturally. I mean, being who they are, like, what can they do aside from just release planes that don't crash? Fantastic engine to use, pulling freight. Very powerful, Macmillan. Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't say OP for pulling passenger coaches, but it definitely makes light work of it. Definitely. Alright, Sammy, mate, no worries. A gaming at the wheel in a setup, I can't ever get it to work for me. Well, when you get into the game, with your wheel connected and stuff. Thank you very much, Devan, for the follow, by the way. Why that hasn't shown up, I actually don't know. It's meant to show up on my side. It hasn't. I've tested it and it's working fine. So... your gameplay's insane. Thank you, man. Kill them all. Add me on Discord if you ever want to connect and talk. Stream, grind. Okay, looks like spam. But yeah, it's crazy that the B737 is not the airliner family with the most units. I'm on TSW5. Is there a big difference between the two? Macmillan, no. And that would be my answer if you even said that you're on TSW2. Nothing really changes within these different iterations aside from added features that themselves could have been added to TSW2. So, I mean, even Dovetail have said themselves on the forums a little while back that the only reason they keep releasing new iterations every year is because of marketing. I did read that ASR, just not out loud. Did I seem confused as I was reading it? A gaming, I said, what did I say? I said, like when you have the wheel connected to your PC, and you're in the game, have you selected the wheel? Because you actually need to go to your settings and select the wheel that you're using. And then from there, you obviously make sure your pedals are, you know, set up properly, and the wheel itself. Thank you for the follow, mate. I seem confused. Oh, I wasn't. Rivals. So Rivals, it's definitely a different game. Definitely a different game. How much can I say? Thank you for the
From
14
ambassador
months.
to
40
ambassador.
months, Jesus.
Simrail stream when? PS. Xbox release date will come soon, in 1 day to 5 years, as they have finished the certification with Microsoft.
1 day to 5 years sounds about right. I'll answer your question in a second. Macmillan, I want to give it a go. I want to give it a go when it comes out. Initially, I would have said no, absolutely not. But to cause some confusion, unless you can read between the lines, hearing about it wasn't my first thing with the game. And so I think I'm looking forward to trying it in its release date, and giving it a chance. Because it's not a sim. It's not a sim. It's not a sim. It's a different game. And yeah, like I said, if it was just something that I had heard of and that was my first experience of it, I'd have definitely brushed it aside. But I'm willing to give it a chance in its complete form, in its final form. ASR. I said this on the Discord the other day, Friday I think it was, and I don't know if it came across as like sarcasm, but I promise you it wasn't. I actually want to try Simro again. I want to give it another go, and it may sound like petty, you know, each to their own. But the only thing stopping me, let's say once the loco drops, the new one, the only thing stopping me from that point is the bug where the sun is in the air at nighttime. It just really bugs me, no pun intended. It really does bug me, and I don't want to play. Well, I don't think I'm going to play the game until that gets resolved. I don't understand why it hasn't gotten resolved yet. I can't imagine it being super difficult or super complex, especially as it was a bug that was introduced with an update. It's not like it was something that they've been battling since, you know, the game's birth. So yeah, once that's sorted, I'll be happy to try the game again. And honestly, I don't think I'll stick to it, but let me try it, and then, you know, who knows how I'll be feeling afterwards. A gaming, yes, I believe that is the case with ETS2 and ATS. It should all be like ready to go, as far as I understand. With something like OMZ, man, that game, it takes so much manual labor. It's not even funny. Macmillan, I'd say don't expect it to be like it's not based on a real life. I don't believe it's based on real life routes. So don't expect it to be like Train Sim World. It might look a little bit similar here and there, but it's not that type of game. It's not a simulator. It's not intended to be realistic. I'm sure it's gonna have some realistic aspects, but it's in no way going to be a simulation of any sort. Honestly, ASR, I can't even begin to like mentally like judge that opinion or even like throw in my 2 cents. But I see how it being local might skew you a little bit. And I mean, I guess generally speaking, Airbus have less issues than Boeing's, right? Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. It would be a waste if I had early access to content and didn't do anything with it. Yeah, well, I mean, where human error comes into it, you cannot blame the machine. That would be very unfair. My throat feels tired. I've only been streaming for just over an hour. And I've been talking a fair bit, but my throat feels like more tired than it should. I think I'm gonna have a lozenge. Lozenge. I think in a field like planes or flying ASR, that's for the better. As long as obviously the machine is reliable and capable. I think the more you... I don't know, I guess sometimes it's a catch-22, right? Because sometimes humans... Well, sometimes you'd rather a human than a machine. But then sometimes putting human error out of the equation ends up working for the better. Definitely reliable. But see, you're an Airbus fanboy, so you know how much can I take your word? All right, Macmillan. Safe travels, my friend. Hopefully catch you soon. Thank you very much for stopping by. Thank you for the follow. Okay, so Airbuses tend to be more pilot friendly then. Although realistically, with all the education that pilots do and the investment into that education, you'd expect them to know how to do the stuff manually. No. Welcome back, Sammy. Not too long to go, right? Couple hours should fly by. I'll try my best to help you with that. I was really stumped for what to stream today, man. The US Senate has voted 60-40 to advance a bill to reopen the US government. There you go. Liquidity coming soon. Music to my ears because these reds have been hurting my eyes. And the blues are not moving up fast enough. Hello, Dommy. How you doing? Yes, Peninsula Corridor. Damn indeed. Yeah, I know about that one. Thank you, Dommy. Yeah, the fighter jet. Wasn't there one person, Dan? There was one passenger, no, that was awake. Or was that a different flight? Yeah, see, Sammy, for you perhaps, I don't even own the game, you know, not because it's bad, but just my interest level isn't even at a high enough level to buy the game. So how much more the things that I do own, that I've got hundreds of hours in. A male flight attendant. Wasn't it a passenger? I'm so certain that there was a passenger on some flight where a situation like that occurred. Or have I just remembered it wrong then? Wait, are you telling me you can't stall in an Airbus? So in that case, yeah, why have airlines not transitioned to... Why isn't every airline using an Airbus? Because you're making it sound like it's a no-brainer. That's the intention, Domi, for all the sound alerts. I wonder if it's louder because you're hearing it from my side. Because I've disabled it on my stream PC, hence why you don't hear it twice anymore. Also won't let you bank too much. If you disable the flight augmentation. Right, so you'd have to work to make the plane, well, not dangerous, but to give you that element of danger, I guess. You are hearing people talk about plain cells. And you're a ghost. You're a ghost in a conversation. Must have been paid handsomely, Sammy. I would imagine working within that field. It's pretty rewarding. Oh, fair enough. A Boeing engineer. See, after everything I've been told today, I don't know whether that's a good thing or not. Yeah, but ASR. So why don't, for your last point, why don't they just move to Airbus entirely? Like, cool. There's the initial cost, but in the long term, it pays off, no? But they can perfectly fly for now. Ten-year backlog. That's diabolical. Even the more reason then. They put an order for one in now. And they get it 10 years from now. Well. When you say the full version, Sammy, you mean the most expensive version, right? It's been 200 quid since the beginning, I think, no? That was the one I was gonna get, but then the game was all buggy. It was the one I had my eyes on. Although, I think it was Nabil and Els, if I'm not mistaken, that suggested against that. I think I would have still gone for it. When you say you depend on Airbus for parts, isn't that forever? Isn't that the same for Boeing? And yeah, tariffs are a fair point as a hindrance, I guess. Els, get onto your pilot's license, bro. Be intentional and do it, man. Because it's easy to say, I want to do it, I'm going to do it. And you'll be saying that for 3-4 years. At any opportunity, bro, sign up for what you can. I don't know how the process is. All I know is that it involves a crap ton of money. Just get onto it ASAP, man. Push yourself. Make it happen. Airbus manufactures 160, 825 days a month. That's a lot. And there's a 10-year backlog with them manufacturing 60 airplanes a month. 160 airports and all the planes. Yeah, Els is basically making the same point that, yeah, he made for me as well. I don't know though, man. I feel like I like everything being centralized. I mean, I don't think it would be a nightmare to get payware stuff and third party stuff, but I also feel like as someone who's not like a hardcore plane enthusiast, I wouldn't even appreciate why one plane from one developer is better than the other. You know what's crazy? Yeah? I got 4 blues and 3 reds, and I'm sitting at minus 70 quid. The reds are hefty. That's why I need is government. I need Trump to sort his stuff out right now. And this could be a very, very good week if he does. You think so, Els? Why? As someone who, again, is not a plane enthusiast, won't be able to spot certain details or certain things. Like, what would I see? What would I like acknowledge from my point of view? Do you think? You think everyone should be able to buy their own F-35? Is that a fighter jet? Am I right in thinking that's a fighter jet? I'm a sucker for all the content. No, honestly, bro, it's a problem. It's a problem. Like if I anytime I buy a game, I get the like just the most expensive version with as many things as possible. I just want everything. I'm a victim of whatever marketing or whatever strategy that these companies have become predators to. Did with ETS2 and ATS. Yeah. Hey, but see, with ETS2 and ATS though, I mean, you can't not do that with how cheap, with how cheap things get in sales. It's ridiculous. Airbus in US means tariffs of purchase, tariffs for parts, European engineers. Is there any way that they could make a deal with Trump where they don't pay tariffs? Being something so important to the country, I feel like surely they can finagle their way through. You'll appreciate it. Okay, textures, yeah, for sure. Els, textures for sure. I'm a sucker for graphics. That's one. But in terms of, I mean, to be fair, that's a big one for me. But in terms of like flying or like the operations, I just can't imagine me being like, oh yeah, they should have that. Or if I'm playing with a good one, oh sick, they've got that, or it's got that. Like I wouldn't know what the hell I'm looking for. Airbus currently has a total backlog of all their lineups, 8,698 planes. Yeah, long day. F-35 is a jet. Also, then Henk, in that case, mate, something tells me maybe that wouldn't be such a great idea, you know? 2021-23 period is the first 3-year period where there are more active Airbus planes than Boeing planes. Wow. And I guess since then, the scales have only tipped more to the Airbus side. Yeah, that is true, Dan. Yeah, that is true. But I mean, at least it would be something, though. It would be something. Something to give us hope, you know? Like driving a car. No, surely not, Els. Surely not that extreme. Are you comparing like an arcade race to say? It's like comparing. No, because then you're comparing like a plane in GTA to MSFS. Like there's just no way, man. There's no way. Yeah, the uncertainty, Dan, is I mean, uncertainty is uncertainty. I don't even need to really elaborate on that. It's not great. It's not great. I'll leave it at that. It's not great at all. Are you being sarcastic, ASR? Oh, he's quoting Trump. You can tell I pay no attention. I pay more or less the amount of attention I need to. I feel like when it comes to like politics sort of thing. That's why I never know anything. And you know what? If you haven't noticed, I'm at peace. I'm at peace, not being constantly. Oh my god, the best decision I made was just to stay away from the news. The best decision I made. If I need to know anything, it will trickle its way down. Because the irony is, a lot of the news that's been important to me is news that doesn't make TV or the papers. Ignorance is bliss. Honestly, a lot of the time, Sammy, yeah, yeah. And I've realized that applies to so much in life. So much. Is that because of its proximity to you, Dan? Next one is also saying that Spain should be kicked out of. What's he got against Spain? I mean, Sammy, if it's costing you 200 quid a month, mate, you have to find a way, lad. Even if 200 quid is nothing to you, you have to find a way, boss man. Literally a stone's throw away in some places. Yeah, fair enough. See, in that case, yeah. But then even then, you could say that in some cases it's worse because if now the news wants to exaggerate something, the effect on you could be a lot worse than the reality of the situation, if that makes sense. I mean, to be fair, Els, yeah, if it's a passion of yours, it's going to be a no-brainer for you to go for the most realistic version. Like, I moved from a certain course, for example. Okay, no, that's a bad example. Okay, like I play Le Mans Ultimate, for example, for my sim racing title, because of how realistic it is. Like, if I'm gonna play racing games, and I'm gonna play like a serious racing, and obviously if I'm just gonna have fun and muck around, then yes, the Crew Motorfest without a doubt. But if I'm gonna do it seriously, then I'm gonna go for something that does that well. You know what I'm saying? Because that's my passion. That's something that I love. So I'm gonna go for something that's gonna do it properly. So it makes sense, and that's why I keep emphasizing that from my position as somebody who doesn't have a passion for flying or for planes themselves. You know, I can't imagine myself really being bothered too much by what's realistic and what's not. Perhaps if I sort of just dip my toes in the water, you know, properly give it a go, have the peripherals on hand, and maybe after a little while I really start getting into it, then yeah, because then automatically I'll start researching things, I'll start watching more, just generally like maybe more videos of it, more streams of people flying, and then just through that I'll be picking stuff up, and then I'll develop an eye for detail in that regard. But off the jump, I just can't imagine being too bothered about much. That's terrifying, Dan, about the drones flying in your airspace. Stay safe, my man. Oh, I've missed some chat. We don't need to spend 5% of GDP in defense. So why is that a problem for Trump, that you guys don't want to spend a certain amount? Far right directly affects people I care about, so I like to be informed, but it's just a lot. But is there any way that you can be informed through like people as opposed to the news or the media? Project Motorsport. You know what? There's a recent video that there's a YouTube channel I watch, Overtake.gg. I watched it. I'm sub to them. I watch them every now and again. I haven't watched their latest piece on Project Motorsport. I don't know if the situation has changed, because I know initially it was gonna come with like some like fake racing tracks and like stuff like that. Like I think they struggled with licensing a little bit. I mean, I believe it's intending to come as like a sim, right? Like it's going for realism. So to me, something like that will matter. I don't want to be racing on like fake tracks with like fake cars. But even with that in mind, it could actually turn out to be a fun game. So I wouldn't even say it's on my radar. I know of it. I know about it. I won't like stay away from learning about it. But I can't say I'm interested in it like right now. Trump just removed a lot of US troops from Romania and said that's not a big deal. Also, a blackmailing tactic, something to please Putin. How so? How does removing US troops from Romania play a part in that? In World War II, Romania begged for the US to come. When they came, they bombarded all of the oil fields and cities. Said us to get to them. Drones are only in the eastern Romania. Yeah, but Dan, the minute they're in Romania, east, you get if God forbid, movement begins within Romania, the main thing is the breach. Once the country's breached, yeah. Rather not meditate on it too much. It is the same team, Sammy. Project Cars 1 and 2. So Project Cars 1 was fine. Project Cars 2, I didn't enjoy because I felt that there was an unnecessary emphasis on the back end sliding out every time you were on a curb. Now, did cold tires have something to do with that? I actually don't know, because I wasn't really like locked in on that sort of detail when I was playing PC2. But it just seemed, compared to every other racing game I was playing at the time, it just seemed very annoying that I had to deal with the back end sliding out when I'm driving on something I should be driving on. So that always bugged me out. So I wasn't really happy with PC2 too much because of that. I like the career style gameplay though, that I enjoyed. PC3 is obviously a disaster in terms of what the expectations were for it and what ultimately came. So I don't know. It does seem like they're going back to like the older roots with this title. Ultimately, we'll see though. We'll see. Malicious compliance. with an anti-ballistic battery in Romania that bothers Putin since it was built and it's unlikely to. Ah, interesting. Huh. Hello, Nabil. I don't think you're going to see Fortnite on a schedule, mate, until we start playing it. I don't think anybody here wants to see Fortnite. I'm going to make a quick bathroom trip. I believe we should have a passing service. Usually it's the baby bullet trains, but I guess you guys will see if I miss it. Yes, you are already played it, Nabil. Not we. You already played it. Once we start playing it, then there's more of a chance, you know? I'm not building, but if I'm playing it, I'm not building, bro. I'm not doing all of that. I wasn't doing that when that was the only way to play. Hey, no way, my boy. But I still feel how I felt about it last time. Like, I'm still, you know, if you tell me, yo, let's hop on Fortnite, there is a chance that I will be like, alright, cool. OG Fortnite was Fortnite's always been battle royale, Sammy. Unless by OG you're talking like an alpha version, like real OG. I did say I'm not building in Fortnite, else yes. If I play Fortnite, I'm playing non-build mode or whatever it's called. It's on Fortnite. I'm streaming right now. Why would you ask me now? How does that make any sense? I'm pretty sure you did hang. That sounds familiar. I'll be real. That sounds fairly familiar, my man. What historic war doesn't have anything cursed? ASR. War brings out a darkness in people that otherwise you never know was there. Nah, Sammy, what year was this, bro? This is the first time I'm hearing that. I'm hearing like Fortnite history to that degree. What year are we talking, bro? Lebil, how do you know I'm not going to be streaming in 2 hours, bro? Save the world. Wasn't that like a game mode once upon a time? But Sammy's saying it like that was the entire game. I'm pretty sure I remember it being a game mode, like back in like 15, 16. What are you talking about, Els? What are you talking about? It's like you saying I can't do a 4-hour stream. My literal last stream was over 4 hours. I'll stream for however I like. I could stream for an hour. Like a lot of streamers actually do, you know. I've realized a lot of streamers will just stream for like an hour, hour and a half too. Yeah, Battle Royale, I mean, bro, Battle Royale changed gaming in many ways. Like Fortnite's one. Why would the vampire biting a zombie cause the zombie to gain sentience? Now, see, ASR, you have to pick it. You have to pick it bit by bit. That's how I do with these things, because Dan likes to do this. He likes to just come with these like, I don't even know what you would call this. I want to eat a charcuterie board, not the board itself, but everything on it. I have a thing for meat, no homo. To become a vampire, you have to be bitten by one. Okay. But zombies, isn't the whole thing with zombies that they don't have like brains, or like they don't have the complete brain? So you'd have to gain sentience initially, you'd have to have like a full brain, right, to comprehend everything. So I don't think it would be possible. But wouldn't being a vampire give you like immunity to like being affected by certain like organisms that are in the blood? I can cook, girls. Yes. I don't cook, but I can. They have some brain if they have motor skills. Right, but not enough to think. So as long as they don't have enough to think, it's like you know that fungus that takes over ants. Or like spiders. Like you'll see that a spider has no body, no shell, nothing. It's barely got like a body and legs. But it's the fungus that like controls the spider and makes it go to like a high place or whatever. In which case, like there is no spider. So if a vampire was to bite into that spider, nothing would happen to the spider. It's done. It's cooked. So I think the same is for a human being, innit? Like it's cooked. Like you're cooked. There's no coming back from it. Your brain's done. It's the virus that's controlling you. Like there's no recovering. There's no gaining sentience. They eat brains because like for the virus to take effect, and it attacks the most like functional part of its host, right? So if it can get the brain, then it can get the entire body. It can get the entire person. That would be my logic. What are you talking about, Els, bro? What are you talking about? You know what? You know what? Yeah, I would. I would. There's a banging kebab spot near one of the stations I work at. And you know what? Why not, bro? Why not? I got you. I got you. You come to that station and catch me there, and I'll give you meat. But LSD wouldn't affect a zombie. LSD needs a fully functioning brain to take effect. You can't tell me madness, bro. You opened that door. I just walked through it. Ain't no madness here, G. If he drops a bar of soap on a perfectly sterile hospital floor, is the soap considered dirty, or is the floor now considered clean? Well, it depends. What is the status, the bacteria status of the soap? You know? If the soap has any, dirty bacteria on it, then the soap is dirty, yes. If it's completely clean also, then both the floor and the soap are clean. No, Sammy, like I said before, yeah, when you break it down, it starts to make a lot more sense. Whoa. It's not looking good, bruv. Who's done a mad thing? NCAD. Suck your mum. KCD2 has new DLC this week. Which one? I was on it today. I was on like the Steam page of it today. I didn't really see anything there. Yeah, I'm not seeing no baby bullet trains. Very odd. I think I'll do my next run with one actually. Murder investigation. Okay. Bit of LA Noir. Bit of an LA Noir vibe. Did I turn the layer back on? How do I do that? My all my layers should be on. In timetable mode is there. I can drive it. It's got its own timetable as well. But it's available on both timetables. So it's over here. And then it's also over here on a standard timetable. And it's got its own journey mode. Which I'm going to do now. Oh, or we could do some switching. Oh, I don't mind me some switching action, you know. Okay, let me do. I'll do a run of the bullet, and then do some switching after. Do a little scenario at the top. I didn't even see that. At the top where? Ah. That's even for the switcher. Wait, MP15 DC. Yeah, that's for the switcher. That's not even for the... Is it that it's not appearing here? But it's here though. It's not on the layers list, which is weird because it's a DLC just like the switcher, the MP15. But it's not appearing in layers where the MP15 is appearing. But it's here. So I've got no idea whether it's... I don't know what's going on there. Hello, Simon. How you doing, mate? Prepare the train for departure. I'll get it fueled up and ready for a morning bullet service from San Jose. Go on then. There are many express services on the timetable called Baby Bullet. Prepare this... Okay. Oops, my mouse is over here. That's good to hear, Simon. I'm good myself, thank you. What's your favorite national rail TOC? I don't know, bro. I never thought about it. I don't use the national rail enough. Nearly enough to give you an answer. What headlights? I played West Cornwall for the first time in ages. Really is quite a bad route. I'd never noticed before the scenery is playing. That's crazy, man. Even when like everyone was saying it was a bad route in terms of the scenery, I don't know. I didn't really, as somebody who, you know, isn't familiar with the area, I didn't see it, even when it was pointed out. Ignorance is bliss. Although I guess I wasn't ignorant knowing that it was bad, but I was ignorant of what it actually looks like IRL. And I never did the research. Partly intentionally. It's just like the talent on... what's that route that released with TSW4? The Austrian one. The talent that runs on that is apparently really bad. Terrible in terms of sounds. And I've been told that a million times over, but it doesn't really mean much to me because I don't know what it sounds like in reality. And I will not do my research to find out what it sounds like in reality. Sometimes that is just the way to go. CMOF has manual junction in the odd climb down and switch to manual procedure and we're good. Don't need to do any of that. Got that all manual. Sorry, all automatic. You know this place from Train Sim Mode 2020? I think that would make sense, my man. That would make a lot of sense. Maybe it's more in comparison to newer routes. There is also that, I guess. If you've only played it for the first time now, I think that definitely could skew your perspective as well. Quite a boring drive. I'm not gonna lie, man. I think a lot of these routes, many of these routes are a boring drive. Yeah. Oh, there's no marker lights on. That's okay. Can live with it. I'll ignore it. But yeah, timetable is a little funky with their artistic license, I believe it's called. It's obviously an older route. Funnily enough, I think that's when the bill first stumbled upon me. When I was doing my playthrough of the journey mode there. See me, yeah. Even the rapid transit, the talent. I wouldn't be able to spot like how bad it is. Now refuel the locomotive, hook up the hose to the fuel tank, wait for the train to be fully refueled. Fully fueled, it should be going to take a couple of minutes. Remember we used to always get these type of... ain't no way. Really? Is this going to be incompletable because I can't get out of the seat? And you can't even like fold it up or anything like you can do nowadays. No, there's no way out. You're just stuck. Okay, at least this side doesn't have the issue. Oh, I've got to run all the way to the other side. I've been on those OBB talents and wouldn't know this. Really? Oh yeah, a lot of people were calling for an intercity swallow. Yeah. A lot of people were. That I remember very vividly. Is it that it's too far? Because he's not even giving me a chance. It can still stretch a little bit. It can still stretch. How ridiculous. Alright, no excuses now. There actually is no other way to get out of that seat other than spawning on the other side and then just running back. Yeah, I know, right, Sammy? Just sounds like a modern EMU. Are you saying then, Simon, that all modern EMUs sound the same? Is that the claim that's being made here? I don't think many would disagree, to be honest. They don't make details like this anymore, man. Game's gone. It's done now, no? It's not moving anymore. Wait, I didn't even stop this though. They don't make them like this anymore, man. I mean, to be fair, for the Riviera line, there was a scenario where you refuel, but I haven't seen that in a while. But then I guess it's also been a while since we've had like a diesel, so driving down San Jose to begin this morning run. Cool. Sure, there are differences, but not something I notice. Some distinctive. Yeah. It's more of a sarcastic question anyway. In tune with the one-handled toy plastic train club. I mean, I think for many people, it comes down to how near is the nearest thing. You could get the nearest thing, but then the nearest thing is far enough, right? That Sammy, I'm not gonna lie, I need to go to the bathroom as it is. Then it could be that the nearest thing is far enough that you know, maybe it would be better not to do it at all, you know? I don't know. Like I said, for certain people, for me personally, the only sounds that I would be big on would be anything underground related. Like, for example, with the Bakerloo line, how there's no, like with any London Underground experience, one of the most standout things is the noise, is the sound. Like, you cannot create an underground route and not incorporate somewhat realistic sound. So that was something that always irked me on the Bakerloo line route, was the lack of sound. But other than that, me personally, I'm okay with whatever, to be honest. But I think that just comes down to me not, like, I don't go and watch like train videos or research exactly how they sound and, you know, what engine sounds like what. For me, it's just like, oh, train, cool, you know? Just I'd rather not, Sammy. I'd rather not. Because I feel like I've only just come back. It hasn't been that long ago, right? Maybe it was. I don't know. I don't have any, like, I'm not tracking any feeling of time at all. Yeah, life is always going to be much easier with a modern EMU. I feel like with a modern EMU, you could even just create the sounds from scratch. I couldn't imagine that being an impossible task. Wait, what? That objective marker made no sense. Oh, the annotations mod is incredible, man. It's incredible. I didn't think I was gonna enjoy it. I thought I would have found it annoying just having things like on the screen. But I've actually found it really interesting. I was playing the Cross City route on Friday, courtesy of Simon's request, and yeah, it was cool just seeing like the names of the canals and the tunnels, just stuff that otherwise I would just never know, you know. How are we on the wrong track? I would assume if this bug didn't exist when the route dropped, which I doubt that it did, if I'm gonna be completely honest, then it would have been caused by a later update that probably had nothing to do with the route, as happened so often. There was an example that I used on Friday of it. I've forgotten what it was now. But yeah, it is a thing that routes that have nothing to do with a particular patch or update can just be affected. If I'm not mistaken, for example, just by TSW5 moving to TSW6, if I go here, come here, where's the original SD40, the SD40-2 that, you know, came with this route? But in TSW5, it's there. So how is it that in just moving from TSW5 to TSW6, nothing being done to that loco in the process, nothing being done to this route in the process, where's it gone? But if you go here, and this is just from what I've read on the forum, and this is my first time even seeing it myself. If we go, I believe, to... What the hell is Calvin Pass called? Oh, recently played, that's why. If you go here, the BNSF version is here. So where's the original? just TSW things, you know. Allegedly for marketing purposes. You know, we have to deal with stuff like that. Anywho, let's do some switching. I'm gonna do an introduction to this train because I've got no clue. I don't know anything about this train, or I could just leave this for tomorrow or whenever I next play TSW, and then I just do like a switching focused stream. Because these are all connected. I don't know whether they're called extras, but like these are part 1 and part 2. There's another part 1 and part 2. And then I guess I'll just do the extras in order, maybe. I guess that would be cool. Prepare the special train. Prepare the special train. And then there's these two. Mastery, Nabil. And bro, I did not think there's a lot more that I have access to. A lot more. It's crazy. So I think going forward, the minimum membership I'm gonna do is mastery. But I want to do elite. You know what, Simon? I think I will do some little turban just for you. I'm not taking requests today, but I feel like it's too early to end the stream. I think I'm done with this. I'm not gonna. It's a tedious route. I'll tell you what's really tedious. Yeah, I know I'm doing it to myself. Nobody's forcing me to play the game this way. I know I'm doing it to myself, but it is what it is. I'll tell you what's really tedious doing the way I'm playing the game. This. Look what I've done so far. All of these are at an hour or an hour plus. These were fine. And then all of these are going to be an hour plus. I don't know why I was doing it. I think I was doing them alphabetically at one point. That chapter was tedious, one of all the ones done. Simon, modded timetable or default timetable? 3 invites. Nabil, I just got lucky that like it's still a relatively small server. And the people on there. Listen, bro, they're not. I don't know. Like inviting anyone onto a trading platform is difficult. You get it, like in reality. But I feel like with everyone on the Discord that already has Discord, and all they had to do was just join it. Like, you know, it should have been a no-brainer. So I think I got away with it, with just having 3 invites. I was disappointed. You lot let me down, man. You mean to be real? You lot let me down, man. All you guys needed to do was just click. Like, that was it. No, it's free. It's free. And then leave it whenever you want. That was literally it. That was all I needed from you. Literally, just join the server and then leave if you want. All I needed was for the invite to be like activated. That was it. Is that too much to ask? Allegedly. Apparently. Disappointed. I'm upset. I'm hurt. Do I need both of these? Original uses all the rolling stock. Latest uses the newer repaints. This requires a 101 expert DLC. If you do have this DLC, then use this version. Yeah, but I don't have the repaints though. Okay, I'll get it from there. Layers. I don't like downloading stuff that's not like loudly TSW6 compatible. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this one. And if I have any issues, I'll probably delete it. It will probably be the first thing to go. Okay. So they're both there. And then you... Okay, cool, let's go. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Something else I was looking at today was ships at sea. And I know it sounds like a joke, yeah, because of what it was the last time I played. You guys need to go check the Steam page of it, yeah. The amount of... they've just released the biggest update to that game. They've changed the engine. They've changed the game engine. It's a new map. There's a completely new map now, a new engine. Oh, no, wait, so no, the new engine was Trans-Siberian Railway Sim. Ships at Sea was a new map. Basically, it's just from what I've been seeing, it's basically just a different game. It's just a different game at this point. Dan, I'm not even gonna bother. ASR, that was very weird. Yeah, don't remind me about that delay in the build, man. That one hurts. That one hurts, man. I don't be surprised if Ships at Sea appears on a stream this week. I actually do want to give it another go. I don't know what it is about like ships. It's just I don't know, man. It's something about it. It's like how like as guys we're just like into like trucks or like I don't know, construction. You know that's just random kind of things. I feel like that's what it is. It's something innate within me that just likes ships. It just has a weird like interest in ships. Knitter Turban, where are you? Where are you? There you go. Right, what train, Simon? I'll let you pick. Sorry if you've said it already. I know the bill says 642, but it was Simon that initially, you know. Are you good with the 642, Simon? I genuinely forgot to release. Same. When our ranks coming in the crew, well, they're there. Ranked is there. Does it function as it should? No. But it's in the game. All right, let's go 642. Nabil, as you're pushing so hard for the 642, I'll let you choose the repaint. Wait, are they all... Wait, no. Wait, where are the different repaints? 642 by 3. What am I looking for here? What's different? Oh, different formations. Does it really matter, or should I just go for the first one? Bro. Welcome back, Mark. Yeah, what Nabil said. Basically that. Basically that. Oh, we got a splash of rain. Basically that, man. Oh, I'm never going to get into that. It's going to give me a headache. Zifa. 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 Ziva Swang Bang Dang Sang. Isn't it just amazing how I can just get into any train and just get it going? What train is that? It's a 642. 642. Are you proud of me, ASR? Does the original have green? The original doesn't have green. A green display, does it? Wait, where are my doors open? Wait, why am I opening the doors here? The train's in the wrong place. Okay, anyway, no one's complained. It's part of the mod. Nice. What are you on? Shall I just give it like full beans? It's gonna will slip, innit? Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Also, I'm quite close to the front, aren't I? Is this too far away for you guys? I felt like I was right, like my chin's right on the windscreen. Oh, hello, suspension. Got a bounce to it, eh? Also, what do we have here? I need to make the display brighter. Oh, hello. I pressed it. On. Give me 100%. Magnetic. Should I turn magnetic brake on or not? I feel like I ask that every time I drive this train, which isn't very often, but it's enough. You don't want to know what Vilbo's done here, so trust me. Trust me, you don't. Maybe better to start the other end of the route as there's more to see there. Well, how about we leave the best till last, Simon? Would it be better, you know, going from like Blandy? Whoa, let me not disrespect the scenery. Scenery where there's not as much to see and then going into that. But it'd be more, you know, scenic and more of a, you know, just nicer. Also, like look at the clouds and stuff. Like with the cold dynamic weather, bro, it takes so long. Like I pressed that the minute. Hold on, Look at the delay. Oh my god. From when I tap it to the beep. Bro, even if I press C4 before it starts ringing, it would be too late. I need to use the keyboard for that. That's ridiculous. Anywho, yeah, so with the weather mods, like, you get cloud formations and fog and rain that you just you would never see. Like, basically there's so much more that the weather system can do in the game that Dovetail just haven't mastered, let's say. See with the keyboard how quick that was? Before ASR and Nabil get mad at me. Of course, TSW could look like this. It's actually gorgeous, and it makes driving in the rain like not treacherous. It makes it not treacherous. It makes it like actually a decent experience. Like, this scene looks somewhat realistic. You know, I don't know if you guys would. I don't know how it looks on stream in your opinion, but to me, yeah, like, it's a very natural scene, and I actually can't wait for. I haven't got Jetwash's mod at the moment. I'm waiting for him to update it. Once he does, the game's gonna look gorgeous, man. I just hope it's gonna be playable. I couldn't tell where the platform was. It's a joke how quick it is with a keyboard. Right, I forgot with these modded timetables, you need to be so precise with your stop. God forbid you stop within 5 meters. Basically aim to like go past the stop marker a little bit on these maps. Or on these timetables, sorry. Also, someone released like a modded map. The Seven, I don't know how you pronounce it. The 7 Railway. I haven't downloaded it, but it's like available. And it's still from the description very early. But someone's done it. Like the signaling's done. Obviously the track's all laid. We'll see while you're waiting. Ah, okay. Yes, that's the one ASR. If any of you are familiar with that, I'd be happy to give that a go. I've got no idea how well it works. All I know is what I read in the description of it yesterday. Station is now called Globerg. What? Why is it called that? It's crazy that in TSW3 they could make the game look like this, and since then nothing of this quality has appeared. Yeah, well, it's literally just like it's a general way of doing things, unfortunately, in this game. You introduce a feature and then just leave it, you know, like the train faults, for example. I would genuinely be pleasantly surprised if Dovetail came and said we're improving that feature in whatever way, whether it's adding more faults, in whatever way that an improvement would look like. I would be surprised if that was to happen. It would be off-brand, unfortunately. It would be off-brand, because with like all the features that have come into the game, if they were just further developed, further worked on, the game as a whole would be in such a better place, man. In a much better place. Sounds like the noise that Mrs. makes from time. Class. yeah, as they are ASR, it's almost like they've been added. I know they definitely haven't been added this way, right? But the implementation of them almost is like, oh, fine, you guys keep wanting this feature, fine, have it. you know. It's almost like that, like we were given it in that way, like it wasn't given to us with love and with passion. And with anything, when you lack that, it leaves a hole. Yeah, but Simon, we don't even need a video. Like, it's been obvious. Everyone's been saying it for the past, what, 3 years at least? It's a known thing. Are Dovetail going to do it? No. But they should. And not just slow down for the sake of it. They should slow down and actually take the improvements seriously. If it needs to bring in more heads, more experienced heads, do that, you know? And I think we're getting to a stage now with the game where it's almost similar to Train Sim Classic. It's almost basically in the hands of third parties. So like there's enough third parties now that you might as well just leave the game to them. So the best thing I think Dovetail could do right now, in my opinion, would be to leave third parties do their thing, carry the game on their backs, and you guys work on the core stuff. Once the game's in a good state, once the core game is in a good state, then by all means, start bringing in some DLC with the quality as such that we have never seen before. Because now the core can support that. Optimization is now in order. No need to take away every single layer to make the game playable on a 9th gen console. And you have my words, I will feed everything that I say in terms of like what I think Dovetail could do better, any criticisms I have. You have my words, I will feed it back at any given opportunity. I'm already gonna bring up the broken routing on the previous run. And if there's anything that's important to you guys as well that I can bring to them, please do let me know as well. What was it then, Mark? Oh, no, yeah, no, absolutely, Simon. Absolutely. The more noise. But here's the thing. The noise doesn't matter. Let's be realistic. According to the pattern that we've seen over the last insert many years here, the only thing, so let's say what made the biggest noise in recent times, the Frankfurt S-Bahn scenario, right? That caused a storm on the forums, but not enough, because all now you still don't have the full timetable, and I know you specifically will not buy the route until you have the full timetable, so it's still not been dealt with to a satisfactory level. What I think and what many people agree on will cause a change is if the money fountain, the money tap is turned off. Then, because let's be honest, yeah, your Simon, and everyone else in chat, your kindness, goodness, your heart aside, if you were Dovetail, if you were a business, right, you're making bank doing things the way you're doing things, and you can hear the people yappa. It's noise, because you're making money, you're seeing that what you're doing is working. You know that if you were to listen to these chatter boxes, you know that it would lose you money. So as a business and as a business alone, it makes perfect sense for Dovetail to continue doing things the way they've been doing things. And that is why they have been doing things the way they have been doing things, because it works. They are a business, a multi-million-pound business. according to public information. So what makes you think, from a business perspective, something's going to change? And just logically thinking, what was that for? What did I miss? From a business perspective, sorry, from a pattern perspective, you've seen how things have been done. Why would that change? Why would that change? Everything is off here. Was this a PZB issue? Like, the only thing that's going to bring about change, as things stand, as it looks, as I speculate, and nothing beyond that, is if the money fountain stops. %50 off on PlayStation. Yeah, no, I saw you. I saw you right on the forum. You know what, Simon? I applaud you for sticking to your word, because it's very easy to say one thing, but like fail to FOMO, and end up in regret. Because there are many people that say, I won't buy, and they buy every time. I think you are the first and only person. Well, actually, no, there's somebody else on the forum as well. I don't want to get their name wrong, so I'm not going to say it. But in their signature, they have the amount saved. They have a very specific problem with, like, I think it's light adaptation or something. But in their signature, they have, like, the amount that they've saved by not buying DLC. So you and them are the only two that I have seen that have actually stood by, and voted with your wallet. So yeah, full respect to you guys. It was an attempted bomb threat, and well, they failed. Well, if the station closed, Mark, they didn't. A lot of those things are just to cause a bit of chaos, and it seems like they achieved that. The crew maintenance. Talk to me. What's going on with the crew maintenance? Wednesday, November the 12th, 9 a.m., 3 hours. Disconnects after grand races with error, mishap, smoke, and engine. Finally, we have to wait till Wednesday. They're ready to implement it. So implement it. It's going to be what you called it, Sammy. You called it. They're waiting for the update, the weekly update, to do it. How ridiculous. That is not a wait, bro. That's implement that immediately. That's urgent. So no Motorfest till Wednesday. I will happily play the crew 2 until then. I might actually stream it this evening if Nabil doesn't successfully reel me into to a spot of Fortnite. Doing an hour run and then a bug breaking. My run is soul destroying. Oh yeah, Sammy. Oh yeah, mate. Oh yes. That was why I gave up on the core routes, if you remember. I don't know if you were on that stream, but I showed the recording of I was about 45 minutes into a Dresden-Leipzig scenario with the deluxe loco. I've got the name, the 294, and the train just fell over. And then there's a scenario on the American route where the routing takes you onto an unelectrified route, where if you have the safety systems on, you'll be slowed down. It's only a short section, but if you have the safety systems on, which I always do, you'll be slowed down to a speed where you can't make it through the unelectrified section back to an electrified section, because it's an uphill. 2 core new game scenarios, one with a deluxe DLC. Make it make sense. Uh-oh. We survived. Wait, you think I'm overreacting with regards to what, Simon? On we making the same point? I thought we were in agreement. I don't have a direct line of contact with Matt P, ASR, no. Direct line of contact to staff in general, but not like specifically Matt. Seconds per frame, I like that one. Well, technically, yes, I do. You feel like we're being lectured? How? What? How? I've just been making the same point about people needing to vote for their wallets, and I was applauding you for sticking by your decision not to buy the S-Bahn route until the timetables situation's resolved. I just talk a lot. I try to anyway. I think that's the whole point of me being here streaming, right? Is to like to talk. No, Nabil. I added her on Saturday, with regards to something. I haven't gotten a response. Oh, Jesus Christ. From CR. Yeah, right. For better or for worse. Do you know what the actual like developer number was, ASR? I feel like that's the most important one if we're going to be comparing it to that data. Oh yeah, no, I agree, Simon. I agree. I was just saying, absolutely, the more noise, the better. But it's just that in my opinion, no matter how much noise is made, it will make a difference. But definitely, more noise, the better. Absolutely, 100%, 100%. I just don't think that alone is enough to impact Dovetail enough. I've heard India, but I don't know its legitimacy. Aside from it just being a random claim that was made. Oh, the river is called Nidar. See, like I'm actually learning from these annotations. Educational. ASR, stop doing that, it's weird. I don't like it. And that's my hope with the noise, Simon. I'm hoping that it will get to a point, you know, that it will affect now people's spending habits. What will get me though is the defending. Some of it, you know, you'll have people that will sort of people. It's very easy for people to get emotional and just go off, and then you have those that will sort of bring them back to reality. I don't have an issue with those people. People I have an issue with other people who somebody will make a completely valid claim that makes sense and is completely valid. Why are we not stopping? And then somebody will take it as an attack on their beloved, you know, game, and it's like, no, this negative that this person is pointing out will benefit you and them. It will help you. Do you not see this? It will help you. It will make your experience better. Like, you two are also playing this game and having to deal with this flaw. It can get weird. It can get weird. There's a river Nidder and a river Nidar right next to each other. The value of the river. Wait, he's still arguing with Unibil. I guess uncritical is uncritical is definitely one way to put it. Yeah, uncritical indeed. Like, as much as people can be a bit delulu when it comes to like how bad the game actually is, like some people again take it way too far. There are also people on the other side of the spectrum that do the exact same thing. Bro, the color palette here is so nice. Tada May looks like it's going to replicate quite a bit of that. So does the Czech route, I think it is. The Czech route as well. What do you think about Nabil joining the TSC Discord? I think that he just wants to cause his mental health harm. That's what I think. There are people who are overcritical too. Yeah. People constructive and what? That's it. That's it. Yeah, there are definitely some people that take it way too far. But it all comes down to emotions though, isn't it? Either way, it's just people being emotional. There was one memorable one was a recent one where the guy wouldn't accept that King's Cross, that the underground station was called King Cross St. Pancras and the international station was just called St. Pancras. He kept calling it King's Cross, and people and it was such a small thing, but it did have a right and a wrong, right? And he just would not accept the facts presented, even with sources. He just would not accept it. It was incredible. It was incredible. I think, yeah. Some say PDP removed it from the list because it's too complicated. What? Changing layer, changing the livery. It's too complicated. I can't imagine how. I can't imagine how. No, ASR, the fact is that station is called St. Pancras International. There's no King's Cross in it. Whether you like it or not, it's not up to you. It's not a choice, it's not an opinion. Like, the City of London is called London. You can't call it something else and then be upset that somebody's corrected you. Yeah, exactly, Nabil. The functionality is there. They just have to make use of it. But I don't know, man. These guys, I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a certain type of like stubbornness that people suffer from, and I don't know why, because it's a choice. Like, you choose to be stubborn, but why be stubborn in this way, like this? Why? Share it in the Discord. It was a good 2-3 months ago, Simon. Bro, I can remember I'm sitting in my little box at my station. It was during a shift, and I'm reading through it, and I'm like, no, this can't be. And it went on for about a page and a half. And everyone is saying the same thing, and you alone you're dying on that hill. Like, no, it's King's Cross, St. Pancras. I mean, from the time people are using sources and you're arguing against the source, what are we doing here? But yeah, it was like, it was inside a thread that had nothing to do with it. It was one of those. Well, it was one of those ones. So it would be more nigh on impossible for me to find, but yeah, it was interesting. ASR St. Pancras International is where like the Eurostar and the Javelin come into, and King's Cross St. Pancras is the underground station. They are two different things. You leave one and go to the other, although you can also travel between them underground. They are two separate places, two separate stations. The guys who wanted PlayStation to be thrown off for an interesting point. Yeah, I vaguely remember that. I don't remember the details, but I remember it. It was a thing. Wait, there's a talent here. Okay, I didn't know that was on this timetable. We're gonna... Oh boy, we're gonna spad. Or are we? Psych. Wanted all consoles to be abandoned because they didn't like collectibles. Well, I just thought of another bunch. Now, these aren't as bad. Or is it one by himself? It's either one or two. But there's at least one who only buys roots for trophies. He only buys DLCs for the trophies. And if there's an issue with the trophies, he won't buy the DLC. Now look, each to their own, yeah? I'm not going to say that he's not allowed to do that or whatever. But that's insane to me. That's wild. Absolutely wild. So where does that talent go then? Doesn't say. Well, ASR, the city thing is different. I was just talking about the actual like London city, but yes, there is a city within London. Don't ask me about that. I don't. That's its own thing. So the station is now called Nidderau or Nidderau. It's where I changed on the way back. Oh, crazy! You can get a train to Hana. Ah, so that would be where that talent was off to then. I would presume. Sick. That was nice timing then for you to see that. Hana and Guyton. Why do you not use that B as an S? Why not just use an S? Considering you use S's in your language anyway. Or is it like Guyson? Like, is it like emphasized? Or is it sure? It's not a sure, is it? It's not Guyshun. IRL uses completely different trains on a different train operating. Oh, so, wait, so they're not even like red? Oh snap! We are flying. Whoops. S in German is pronounced as huh? Okay, I didn't know that. I've never pronounced it that way. RB49 is operated by HLB. So what color are what color is the livery for them? It has been DB442s in the past. What year is this timetable set in? Was it 2019? So would they have been in operation in 2019? Yellow, orange, grey. Oh, sick. That would be cool. Some place I've seen. Yeah, but are they not pronounced the same, ASR? What a queue, just chugging along. In the absence of the Class 440. Is the Class 440 the one that we see in Subway Sim 2 in Hamburg? We do in a bill. I'm okay with using what's available to flesh out timetables. I don't mind that. But it would be nice to see not just new trains though. Just, you know, new TOCs, you know, new liveries. And yes, we have got now more than just red. But I'd like to see more. I know the 420 is going to bring in a splash of new color, which is cool. Ah, 474, that's the one. 474. That's the one. Thank you, Noble, for liking the live. Hopefully I haven't missed too much on TikTok. There are popular and widely used trains out there which we still don't have. I don't know if they'll have that sense of humor, ASR. I don't know if Mike has any sense of humor. And I'm sure people would find the issue with it one way or another. Along with many others in the bill. And again, where they are appropriate, I don't mind. I don't have an issue with them being reused, you know, where it makes sense to. But where we could have gotten something else, it is a shame when we don't. I don't think we have that license anyway, though, Simon. The Suex one. Oh, it's DB, but delivery is light blue. Oh. Is there nowhere else it could have shown up? So this tunnel has been modernized now, probably in prep for electrification. So what's been done to it compared to what we have in the game? TSG have already made some Easter eggs. Yeah, but I doubt they do anything weed related. Especially with Dovetail being so, what's the word? Strict with the game being rated what, Peggy 3, I think. So this could also be okay. So they could have added on Frank. So why not then? Why not? Assuming that they have the license for it. Although I think it can be complicated with licensing. Like, for example, we have the DRS delivery for the 66 branded, but it won't be available for the Class 20. So, you know, you can get that weirdness sometimes with licensing, and I wonder if that's had something to do with it. All right, Sammy. Do your civil duty as a husband, my man. $49 type of unit appears in Germany, Switzerland, Poland, Netherlands. Okay, so again, something else that would make perfect sense to have in the game. The conspiracy side of my brain is wondering if, I don't know, man, do Dovetail have their sights on something beyond TSW? You know, like have they, you know, like when something new is coming for a game, when a game's reaching its end of life, all of a sudden there's like, the progression sort of comes to a halt almost. There's nothing there's no new, like, there's no more freshness. Something's wrong with that annotation. There's no new freshness. There's no, like, it's like it's dying almost, but like slowly and quietly. And I just, you know, again, it's the conspiracy side of my brain, but what if, you know, like the lack of effort to get stuff like that into the game, where it would make complete sense to do so, and seemingly not much in the way in terms of an obstruction. I don't know. Let me not get my hopes up, because it would be a good thing. Like, if we're gonna call a spade, it would be a good thing. And seemingly gone are the days of games using their own engine, like devs using their own engine. That's another thing. Like, if Dovetail could build a new engine in-house, like, how many times have we heard that Unreal Engine was not made for train sim? Unreal Engine was not made for train. Okay, cool. Fair enough, you guys gave it a crack. Now you've come to that realization. And even that could be debated, but that's another topic. So how about now, let's pause throwing a million things out every week in content. And how about we work on something in-house that could be more permanent, that you guys have complete control of. But drivers is the future, Nabil. Each to their own, man. We'll see. I mean, Simon, not always. They haven't always been stingy. Thinking back to the TSW2 era, where you know, it was a norm to get 2 new trains, you know, per DLC. It wasn't always like that. But then that 2 started to become 1, And then last year we started seeing routes that came with 0 new stock. Yeah, the is it Salzburg-Rosenheim, where they only brought in one type of coach. That was disappointing. That was disappointing. I don't know how much effort it would have taken to do the other classes, but I don't think enough to not do it, you know? I don't think it's just Hamburg-Lübeck, Nabil, if I'm not mistaken. I've heard that it would be it would make sense for a lot of different DLC. Semmeringbahn, thank you, Simon, for the correction. Semmeringbahn, yeah. And like, even for example, the Class 47 layer, right? That was cool. To even include that was cool. That was nice. Why not do it in its livery? Like, you've gone that far in bringing it onto the route, creating a timetable for it. Like, you've clearly done the research. Why not do that last bit of extra work and give it the correct livery? How am I running a BR Blue 47 in Semmeringbahn, man? Like, that doesn't really make much sense. Like, the hard work was done, you know? The hard work was done. I believe the hard work was putting it in the route in the first place, whereby I think they would have been forgiven for not doing so. Although, with the train already in the game, I think everyone expected it to be so. But yeah, man, a livery. And I don't think it was super complicated either. Now, did licensing have a part to play? I don't know. Also, factories closing down next year. Oh, mad. They have more character too. Yeah. And honestly, it doesn't reflect... Like, okay, see, for example, with SES Software. They work hand in hand with truck companies to, one... It's a partnership where both benefit. Manufacturers get to show off their trucks, their vehicles, and all the new shiny stuff, like we've seen with the new Scania and the displays and everything. And then obviously SCS gets a benefit because they have the latest trucks in the game, and they get to work with the manufacturers to make them as accurate and as realistic as possible. And we, the players, benefit from that because, well, we get to enjoy the content. So you look at Scania and ETS2 and you're like, oh, sick, yeah, you know, brand new display and it's all looking nice and futuristic and, you know, cool. It's a nice brand image. With TSW, someone who doesn't really know their stuff, what would they think of the German railway? Boring, bland, basic. Like, it reflects... I couldn't even tell that. I wasn't under a restriction. I'm pretty certain. I mean, I can barely see the 70 and 85. Maybe they were illuminated. I don't know. I can barely see them, though. But yeah. And as a train operating company who is yet to partner with Dovetail and TSW... If I actually do my due diligence and do a bit of research, would what I see make me want to put my brand or the brand that I represent? Is that the kind of light I'd want to put on it? Not to mention all the passengers on the tracks and, you know, all those kind of things. Even just be like JT and release multiple liveries. Yeah. Shout out to JT for that. I don't think they get enough credit for that. And it was interesting, the timing between them releasing 5 new liveries for free and then the Cross SU 170 pack coming out for however much it came out for, which was similar. I know obviously it came with its own timetable and, you know, slapped a brand new train on the route, but it was just interesting seeing the just comparing the two. Well, Simon, I can't help but think to ask myself, could things business-wise there be that tight, that strict? Because the only reason I can think of is that, you know, the small effort that can be put to doing stuff like that has to be put into making the new thing. You know, all hands on deck every single time. That's the kind of vibe, you know, I get from just like thinking about things from that perspective. ASR, I hear you, but I'm not about to make the comparison between TSW and Simra, bro. That's a whole different conversation. Yeah, even like Simon, even something to throw in between route releases, like Dovetail specifically, DLC releases, you know, bro, F it. Let's even make it a paid pack. Let's say they even make it. That's another conversation. But let's say just for the sake of it being in the game, even add it as a paid pack, you know, a $3.99 or a $4.99, you know, a $5, a little livery pack. So then, you know, they're still profiting from it one way or another. And I think as a community, I think it would make sense to be a little bit harsher on Dovetail because it's their game. The highest expectation for anything that occurs in the game is on them. So, yeah, it does say a lot when third parties outshine, you know, yeah. You can't be an employee and outshine your manager. Something's wrong. If as an employee you outshine your manager in the manager's duties, something's misaligned. G Tissue. Hello, mate. I don't know why it's capitalized and a question, but yeah, hello. Yeah, see, something like that is a no-brainer. Absolutely absolutely a no-brainer. And then trying to think of a reason for why things like that don't get done, you'll be stumped. You'll be completely stumped. In what way, Dan? G Tissue, I can't say I do know, remind me. I don't have the best memory, so don't feel offended. But if you remind me of a conversation we had, it might ring a bell. No, but Simon, like, to what cool, cheap, but to what degree, man? Do you know what I'm saying? To what degree? That's what worries me. Hence what I was saying before about, like, are things like that strict? You know? Because how much would it cost to have someone spend a day, forget a day, a week, even a week, you know, working on these extra liveries? What would it cost? I don't think it would cost much. I can't say I know how much, but I don't assume it would cost much. And ultimately, I understand that they're a business, so I hear the money first thing. Absolutely, you have to stay afloat as a business. You have to put money first. Cool. But customer satisfaction shouldn't be a million miles down the road. You know, there shouldn't be that much of a gap between profits and customer satisfaction. And then let me throw in as well, passion. In something like this, I think passion is important. What has made OMSI, as annoying, as frustrating as that bloody game is, what has made it a staple of bus simulation 15 years later, in its questionable state, was the passion put in back in 2010. Or let's say realistically 2008, 2009. That still speaks today. And it's just weird because you look at Matt and you cannot deny Matt's passion for trains and the simulation genre. You can't deny it. I think when people criticize Matt specifically, I think it comes from an emotional place. When you look at logically the guy, he's passionate about what he does. So, and he's an executive producer. So where, how, you know, how? Stumped. He's stumped. We can sit here until tomorrow's sunrise, speculating and debating and assuming that there is no solid answer that we can come to. Nabil, that's not a protocol. The rainbow IC3 shouldn't have been a pack, nor the green IC1. They shouldn't have been, but that's why I said earlier, even if they release these liveries as a pack, they shouldn't, and that's a whole different conversation. But even at that point, you could say, okay, here's a reason for them to do it. Here's money, you know, like, you know, here's a reason for it. As it seems that is the absolute top priority. Cool, you can do these things and then charge for them. But the fact that, and again, if they were to do that, we would then talk about that as well, and how, you know, there's a whole debate to be had there. But at the very least, they'd be doing it, you know? At the very least. We're not even there yet. Thank you, Peter, for liking the live. We're not even there yet. 8 years. 8 years later. 8 years. I mean, like, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy when you put everything into perspective. It's kind of nuts, you know. And I've recently just decided to just not even think about it, because when you think about it, you start remembering how insane the whole situation actually is. One of the people in our office says you can buy 2 Chinese products, one to use, and a total spare kit of parts for the price of one of our primary products here. Okay, now assuming then, see, this is my way of looking at it. Assuming that the Chinese thing is a lot cheaper, both in price and quality, than the original, I'm sure the original would outlast both, and you end up paying more in replacing the Chinese stuff than you would just maintaining the original. This is the thing. Once you go into specifics, we can debate until tomorrow. The problem is we haven't even gotten to that. That's the main, for me, that's what screams the loudest in my mind, is the fact that we're not even at that point yet. Like, just getting there would be progress, and then we can start diversion into this and into the, like, the tree hasn't even sprouted yet. We can talk about the branches and the fruits, but the tree itself hasn't come up. Remember when Creators Club supposed to? Yeah. Hey, let's not even go there. Let's not even go there, bro. Don't take us back to those dark ages. Stay in free roam for a bit. I'll meet you in the middle, Simon. I don't do the whole train spotting thing. However, I do need the bathroom. So what I could do is chill with an overhead cam and 4x the time while I go and do my thing. I don't really have another option. A lot of modernization, a lot more platforms. Do you know what year this route was actually set in then? A primary one is more complex than an F1 car sometimes. The thing isn't going up. I'm gonna have to force it. Like this. And then I'm going to do this. And then I'm gonna fast forward time while I go to the bathroom and back. tonight. I don't know how long that was in game time, but hopefully there was enough that went past. I don't know. I don't know how much I've missed, but I hope that's given you a better idea of the timetable, Simon, at least around this particular area. And I think I'm gonna call it there for tonight. I'll say it on stream. Honestly, I can't be bothered. You know what? I'll see how I'll deal with it, how I'll handle it. But yeah, I'm planning. Oh my lord, hello. I'm planning another requester route, same as I did last week, Friday 3 p.m. Let me check my calendar first of all, just to make sure I can actually do that. Yes, I can. Okay, so yeah, Friday 3 p.m. I'll put it down as like a provisional thing. I probably won't be able to confirm that until like the day before or whatever, but yeah, I'll do another requester route on Friday. Until then, if I do play TSW and I get bored of like whatever it is I'm doing at that current time, I'll probably just take a request or two anyway, like I did today. But an actual purposed requester route stream will probably be on Friday. Well, in most cases, Dan, there is always someone that takes the brunt of it. You know, in the case of what we were talking about, it's us as players. In your case, you know, it's you. So yeah, wherever there are winners, there are losers. It does, Nabil, yes. Ships at Sea does have multiplayer. Though don't ask me how it works, and you know, I'm probably gonna start like a fresh game, a fresh save. Have you been looking at it then? Cause like you've been hating on it, even after I was like, yeah, like they're updating it and da 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 da. You were still hating on it, but okay, cool, interesting, cool. All right, I'll leave you guys to it. If you have enjoyed the stream today, thank you for enjoying it. I guess it's not Ships at Sea anymore. So what is it then? Talk to me. If you have liked what you've seen, please do consider following, subscribing, being a member, all of that. I'm on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. If you want to make some money, social markets, you see them blues. There's blues and there's reds. There's blues and there's reds. So at your risk, social markets through my link in the announcement section of the Discord. And that's not paid, by the way. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next CU. I don't know when that will be. It could be tonight. It could be, I don't know, next week. We shall see. But thank you very much for joining me. I wish you guys a lovely rest of your evening or your day or your morning, whatever time it is, wherever you are. You know what? I might actually just like leave this for like a few minutes, just to move my camera out of the way. I'll probably do this as well, for the sake of neatness. And yeah, until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, stay safe. Health is wealth. Peace out. Love you guys.
Booyah.